Hello, America, and to our dwindling friends around the world. Welcome to the Common Sense Show. We're the show freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. And this is no doubt going to draw the ire of people who think that this administration would never, ever, ever betray you. Even if the head of the administration, Donald Trump, had lost control and bureaucrats are making the decisions, which it is increasingly looking like. And you think, how could it happen? Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could look at JFK. You could look at Richard Nixon. Certainly Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan's second term, Barack Obama's two terms. Gee, is anybody I left out? Gerald Ford, the cover-up master. George Bush. Let's roll some dice, George. What are they going to come up? 9/11. Um, should I keep going? How about Biden? Well, some chopsticks with your meal there, Joe? What did the House Oversight Committee find out about you? Okay, well, oh, how about the auto pen, which isn't going to be prosecuted? Anyway, I'm going to cover some things here. And I told you, I don't care whether I do this or not, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And I'm not saying what I'm going to propose here is true, but in the words of the great Charlie Kirk, prove this wrong. I wish this could be proven wrong, but the circumstantial evidence is adding up. What if the United States was not supposed to win this war? Good question, Dave. Very good question. We're looking at unbelievable economic spinoffs. They've already started. I mean, uh, uh, 5 days ago, I was paying $1.10 less for a gallon of gas. It means everything else I buy is more expensive. It's incredible. We're doubling down on our garden, but we only have so much time. We live in Arizona. It gets so hot, nothing grows. But we're trying. And you better do something too, food, water, guns, gold, ammo, natural medicine, and tools. And you better take care of your money. How many of you have come into some money, either inheritance, or you basically had to take your minimal withdrawal from your IRA, which is the age of 73. Your retirement's associated with the bank, and you can cash that out because you know the bank's going to steal it. Oh, someday the banks get desperate enough, Dodd-Frank 2010. You got a bonus, you won the lottery, whatever it is. This isn't for people who want to put in 500 or $1,000. What I'm going to tell you is if you want to build unbelievable residual income that's virtually tax-free, do with IULs, end of life care, insurance, a whole bundle together. And it's way the super rich became even more rich. And it used to be illegal to teach this. It no longer is. Joe Lombardi, top Wall Street broker, learned the mechanisms, and he can teach this to you. But first, they have to determine if you're right for this. If you're looking for something that's recession proof in this terrible economic environment that's just beginning to get worse, I think you owe it to yourself to have a conversation with Joe Lombardi's staff. All you got to do is go to DH Hawk, Dave Hodges, dhawk.com, put in your contact information, and they'll tell you within 5 minutes, well, that's a pretty good idea for you, or this might not be right for you. Maybe you want to take a look at so and so. They don't have time to waste. They're not going to waste your time. Joe has never had a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, A+ rating, never lost a dime of customer money. If you're sitting on some money, this is where you want to be. dhawk.com. Congratulations if you're sitting on money, and I mean that sincerely. Okay, I'm sitting back here and I'm looking at the Pentagon spy scandal. Have you seen this? Three people giving the battle plans for Operation Epic Fail, excuse me, Fury, to the Iranians, to a node in Europe that was served as the Iranian agent. Three people. One of them was trusted in the intel community. Have you seen this? Has now been explained. Listen, I'm going to give the Pentagon credit. You have been forthcoming. You've admitted the oversight. You've corrected it. but our battle plans were compromised. I think most of the men and women working at the Pentagon want to win this war. They want to save American lives as much as possible. I really do believe that. But I believe there is a nefarious group. Tucker Carlson calls it supernatural. National. I agree with Tucker on this. I've been talking about this for years. The people behind the people who really calls the shots. I really believe that we're not supposed to win this war. I'm starting to really think this. How does this spy scandal get so embedded? They had to have help. It's not just the participants, it's the people that allowed the process to continue. Did they not learn anything from Ed Snowden? And by the way, I appreciate what Ed did, but did they not learn anything from that? Well, they should have. This is unbelievable, but that's not where I'm hanging my hat. That's just to tell you there are rats inside the ship that want to sink it. Oh, we're going to talk about Democratic rats in the next segment, but this is rats inside our intel ship, inside our Pentagon, inside the White House that do not have your best interest at heart. So let's take a look at Vietnam. Were we supposed to win? Hell no. Could we have won? Absolutely. But when you base a war on body counts and so forth, and you're just expending ordnance like crazy, you drop more bombs in the first 3 years than we did all World War II. Okay, you're just trying to make money for the military industrial complex. There were no objectives. Okay, what are the objectives here? It's regime change. No, it's not to destroy the missiles. No, it's not to destroy the Navy. No, it's not. We keep moving the goalposts. We don't have clearly defined objectives. We went to war, and this has been admitted to because Jared Kushner and Stephen Witkoff told Donald Trump, we're going to get attacked. Well, where did those two get that information? Oh, Bibi Netanyahu. But I don't think we're supposed to win the war. The military industrial complex wants this war, and they want it to go on indefinitely. They want to maximize profit. We are checkmated right now with the S-400s that are going in and all the other things the Iranians have done with their ballistic missiles that we have no defense for, their low-flying drones, which we have a hard time seeing and intercepting. We are checkmated. We had to withdraw our Navy. And there are people that write to me, and I'm sorry, I hate to be so pejorative in my comments, but so ignorant. They write to the comment section and they say these inane things like, oh, no, no, we're winning. We're winning. What broadcasts are you watching? If you can get past the cheerleading hype on Fox News, show me where the progress is. We retracted our fleet. Netanyahu's on the run. If he's alive, I think he is, but that's even in question. By what measure are you saying we are winning? We've tried an off-ramp. Not once, not twice, 3 times. We've asked for ceasefire, and Iran goes, what? We go ceasefire. We're winning. Every ally in the Middle East is afraid. They know America can't protect them. This is a disaster, and we haven't even started with full-blown terrorist activities yet, involving Iranians, the Sinaloas, the TDAs, all the other cartels, the Chinese. We haven't even started that. We've had some lone wolf attacks. We are in big, big trouble. Now, I'm wondering, just like Vietnam, we were never supposed to win that war. That is so obvious. Could we have won the war? Yes, we had the technology. But we chose to do body counts. We'll fight the war here. No, we'll fight the war over there. We won't even establish a front. They could have systematically conquered every single village, put the South Vietnamese in charge after the American troops went through, and progress right up to the DMZ, and then tell North Vietnam, we're not going to make the same mistake Truman made with MacArthur. We will invade you. And tell China, we dare you. At that point in time, China wouldn't have stood a chance. That's what should have happened in Vietnam. If you really wanted to win, you got to win. We didn't even do an Incheon landing. If you know your Korean War history, you know what I'm talking about. All right, now let's take a look at if we're supposed to lose this war. And losing the war means no regime change and business as usual. and Iran either keeps their nuclear weapons or develops nuclear weapons they don't quite yet have. I mean, something is there along those lines. The war right now is lost. Can we recover? I don't know. I went through some options and none of them are good. But let's take a look at if we lose this war and the Strait of Hormuz stays closed. Okay, now here we come to the punchline. With the S-400s and the other weapons that they have now, courtesy of the Russians and Chinese, they can effectively close the Strait of Hormuz indefinitely with their Iwo Jima tunnel-based defenses. How do we root them out? We don't have enough troops. Even if we went Operation Nitro Zeus and drop troops into where we think the sites are and we destroy them, the casualty rate's incredible. We can't protect the aircraft that are landing them because of the S-400s. I could go on and on. It's a terrible situation that we are in. What if it's designed to be that way? Shut oil off from the world. Europe went through a 46-cent increase in the first hour after we bombed because Iran's retaliation forced Qatar to cut off their natural gas. Russia's not giving them natural gas. That used to be their main supplier prior to the Ukraine war. Europe's in big trouble. Their currency is on the edge. Our currency is on the edge. Our debt that we pay the interest is greater than our defense budget. How much do you think we can continue to take until currency across the world collapses? And see, we don't live in isolation. If the dollar goes down, the euro's down, the peso's down, the yen is down. There's so much interdependence in trade among the major nations. They're all down. Russia may come out the winner, but they're not going to go unscathed. What will replace currency collapse because oil's not moving through the Strait of Hormuz? First of all, you're not even going to be able to get gas. The supply chain is going to be, this is why I tell you, food, water, guns, gold, ammo, natural medicine, and tools. If you don't have food on hand for at least 3 months, you are in big trouble. You're really risking it. You go, well, I don't have the money. Well, then get a second job. Take on a roommate, someone who can contribute. Because I'm telling you, this is coming. When you have gas that's unavailable and shipping is not moving, where are you going to get your food? Why do you think there's going to be martial law? There's going to be food riots and there's going to be terrorism on top of it. And you say, well, Dave, the sky is falling, right? No, that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is this is the natural progression of things. You live in an oil-based economy. Our economy was facing collapse under Joe Biden. And here comes Donald Trump. He stopped a lot of the negativity and started to correct some of it. And then he goes off and does this. And who surrounds Trump? The digital boys, the Silicon Valleys, the Peter Thiels. And what do they want to do? They want digital currency. This is why I tell you, go after Bitcoin and crypto. I use mydigitalmoney.com. Okay, and I'll put that in the link. That's who I use. But I'm telling you, the price has been artificially repressed for such a time as this. And when it's announced that, hey, we're going to have to shift from the dollar over to digital. And by the way, crypto and Bitcoin are already starting to recover. But this price, when they take off the repression that's been going on through MicroStrategies, courtesy of JP Morgan, it's going to explode. Ride that crest, people. Maybe the only insulation you get against a full-blown economic collapse and transference into digital. Now, here's what's scary about digital. I spoke a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, at Clay Clark's conference in Tulare, California. And he asked me to come in because we'd done some shows together on this. And he said, Dave, will you come speak at my conference and talk about the digital age, the 15-minute cities? See, they can do some things to you. Once they have the money digitized, if you control the digits, you control the people. Oh, you have to spend all your money by the end of the month. And by the way, we're taking some of your money and we're going to invest it over here because it's needed for our society. You don't get any say in it. You don't get to accumulate wealth month to month, so you can never compete with the super rich. This is why you need to make your money in Bitcoin and load up on gold and silver. It's that simple. And they're not going to take gold and silver because the wealthy are doing the same thing. This is your outlet. You're going to be in the rising class that survives if you do this. They're also going to make it so you can't travel the 15-minute cities. Oh, I'm sorry, you took a trip 6 months ago. That's enough. Stay in your area. Oh, that you can't buy another steak. You just bought one a month ago. Remember the WEF? You'll own nothing and love it, and we'll tell you what you eat. Do you like bugs? Oh, bugs are great for you. Lots of protein. This is how they bring this in. This is a bankrupting war. Iran is not going to march their troops down Pennsylvania Avenue and capture the White House. They're just going to continue to destroy the economy. Mix in a little terrorism, and there we go. The only option you have outside praying for divine intervention from the Lord, and He can, and He might, if enough of us do it, you can pray, but also, too, you can prep. And as my friend Doug Thornton likes to say from the Doug and Dave Intel Report, train, prep, and pray. And this is not hyperbole, people. This is where we're at. Look at the gas station prices every time you drive by and enjoy driving your car. Many of us may not be doing that for much longer.